let's start off by looking at the kinematic equations. We have four of them. One of them says our final velocity equals our starting velocity plus acceleration times time. One of them says our final velocity squared equals our starting velocity squared plus 2 times acceleration times displacement. One of them says displacement equals our starting velocity times time plus 1/2 the acceleration times square. And one of them says our displacement is equal to the starting velocity plus the final velocity over 2 times time. These are written down elsewhere. You can see them. They're better looking than when I write them here. What I want you to see is that, like in this equation, I have four variables: VF, V0, A, and T. What's happened in this equation is I don't have anything to do with displacement. Same thing here. I have final velocity, starting velocity, acceleration, displacement, but I don't have anything to do with time. Coming through this one's missing a term for velocity final. This one, it's missing a term for acceleration. And hopefully you can see that. This is the most important thing here, that you see each equation has four knowns and one unknown. So moving on to a new page. What that means is if I'm given a problem with some set of starting conditions, and I assume you can pull these out of a word problem. Let's say I tell you that maybe I start from rest, and I'm on Earth. So I have some given acceleration like g. And maybe I tell you how high I drop something from. Let's say I drop it from 10 meters, and it goes to the ground. And I'm looking for time. Well, there's only one equation that has these four variables, but doesn't have a v final term. You can see how there's no vf term in here. And if I go back to that first page and back and forth, you would see the equation I need is displacement equals v naught t plus 1/2 at squared. Just given these basic equations here. And I can plug these things in, and I'm asking you for time. And so I would get what? A 10 negative equals a 0 for this first term, it doesn't matter, plus 1/2 times 9.8 negative times a time squared, which comes out to what? About 5 over 10. So I get like a -2 equals t squared. And I'm sorry for making my work messy. So like the square root of, and there's a negative here that cancels as a positive 2, my apologies. So like what, the square root of 2 is the time it takes to fall. I can do something like that as I go through. It doesn't matter exactly how I get there. What I want you to see is that when you're picking these out, you should be making, on every problem, of kind of V0, VF, T, A, and displacement. And like write down the variables you know. Let's say I know this one, and this one, and this one. I'm just going to put down A's for what I know. And I'm looking for acceleration. Then I don't need this one, right? And so all I'm ever going to do is say which equation has the ones I know and the one I'm looking for and doesn't have the one that I'm not looking for at all. Which equation, in other words, takes care of all the information I know. So this is the starting point. Try with watching through this and then trying out a couple of the problems and see if it gets you there. And if not, I'll be around tomorrow. Bye.